Welcome to the Stizzy Chronicles. My name is Stiz, and I live full-time in my RV. Just me and my 3 fur babies. And usually, if I want to be social, I go to a friend's house. But this time around, since I'm leaving town soon, I want my friend to hang out with me here in the RV. But before we can hang out, I need to get this place presentable. While I'm doing that, I want to answer some of the questions that you've asked in the comments. So stick around and hang out with me while I clean. So this is the current condition of the RV. I mean, it's not terrible. If you've been with the channel for a while, you've seen I've been in the terrible stage. This just needs some organizing and tidying up, which are 2 things that I don't like doing. However, they have guests coming over. We got to be presentable. At least fake it till you make it, right? Now, here's some stats about the RV. It's a 2012 Thor Majestic 28A. And that means it's 30 feet from bumper to bumper. The actual living quarters, I don't really know, but around 30 feet. Now, this can hold up to 7 people, or at least that's how it's advertised on Cruise America, because Cruise America does rent these models out. Now, up at the very back, we have an area where a queen-size bed can fit. That holds 2 people. In the very back of the RV, it has a separate bedroom, also a queen bed, 2 people. So that brings us to 4. This particular area of the RV is a dining room table. It can also lay down for sleeping. That's holds 2 people. And then the jackknife sofa, which is just behind me, that can hold 1 person. Now on the website, I don't know why they have this as a single sleeper and this is a double sleeper, because they seem about the same as far as length and width. I will say, based off the width, even though this says 2 people can sleep there, I would say plan for 2 kids because it's not that big. But this weekend, we need to have enough room for 2 adults and a total of 4 fur babies. So I'm going to have myself and my 3 fur babies. The plan is to sleep here. And then my friend will have her dog and she's going to sleep here. So if you've been with the channel for some time, you know that I've attempted to clean this area a few times already. And I keep coming up short. One of the problems that I'm running into is that not everything has a place in the RV just yet. So we're going to try to solve that problem today, at least with some of the items that's in this living space. There's some things that can go into the garage area, aka underneath the RV. There's also some items that can go into my storage unit, which is just outside. Now, of course, that's just temporary because at some point I need to get this bad boy on the road. And at that point, a lot of stuff just needs to be donated, discarded. You know the deal, downsized. But let's see what we can do so far. A lot of people want to know what inspired me to start this lifestyle. And it's really quite simple. I needed to be happy. I needed to find my happiness. I had what you're expected to have, such as a job, I had a house, and I was doing what I had to do. However, doing what you have to do doesn't really feel like a fulfilling life. So I had been studying this life for years. For some reason, I was convinced that if I watched enough YouTube videos, I would learn everything about RV life before I actually entered the life. That's just not possible. It's just not possible. No matter how many videos you watch, something is going to happen. You won't be prepared. I also had to acknowledge the fact that I was getting analysis paralysis, where I was spending more time researching than I was acting. The icing on the cake for me, which encouraged me to step into this life, was many of my high school friends were passing away. And I know a lot of us who think about this lifestyle plan to enter this lifestyle after retirement. However, those friends didn't get to retire. So if they were planning to be RVers, they never got the chance to do that because they were planning to wait. I didn't want to wait anymore. So I went ahead, took the plunge with the understanding that I knew some of the stuff, but not everything. But because of the person that I am, I knew that the hands-on experience is what I needed. YouTube videos are great, especially for motivation, but it wasn't enough. I needed to submerge myself in the life, knowing that I was gonna figure it out. I may not always be confident, but I'm confident enough to know that you put me in a situation, I'm gonna figure out a solution. As you can see, I have way too much stuff. I definitely need the purge again, so that is definitely coming up soon. In the meantime, I'm going to try to organize some of the stuff because a lot of things that I have between the storage unit and the RV are items that I purchased for the RV that I haven't installed yet. So now they're just sitting and waiting in boxes, taking up space. One popular question that I get is, what do you do about internet? So as of now, I have internet, but it's slightly illegal. Not illegal in the sense where I'll go to jail, but illegal in the sense where I read the terms and conditions and I ignored it. So I have T-Mobile home internet. You first have to provide them with an address. They need to confirm that the service is available in that area. If so, you then get a little box that you plug into a power source, and then that gives you access to Wi-Fi. It's illegal in the sense because you're not supposed to travel with it. However, when I travel with it, I still have access to the internet. I'm still able to use Wi-Fi. I learned about it through a lot of the RV groups that I follow on Facebook. I tried it myself, and as of now, it's working perfectly. Now, it is quite possible in the future T-Mobile is going to cut down on this and crack down on it. And at that time, I'm going to have to figure out another option. Some other options that I have come across would be hotspots from Verizon. I believe T-Mobile does offer a hotspot option. And a lot of times it's similar in pricing to what I'm paying now. There's also Starlink that's very popular. However, it's also very expensive. So that may not be an option for me, but it is an option for other nomads. So I was able to free up some space by relocating some items that were in the RV to outside in the storage unit or underneath the RV. There's still some stragglers, but we're going to find a place for them today. We have a lot of small items that may just need to go in a container for now. We'll figure it out later. But we are getting closer and closer to getting this RV organized for the first time. There's some things underneath there, but I think I have a few computer items that I'm just going to put together. I am going to open up a spot here where the driver's seat is by relocating this particular bed cover. Now, this came with the RV. It was on the mattress. I opted to remove it and buy a new one and replace it. I'm holding on to this because this is going to be turned into a sitting area, and I feel like that's going to come in handy. I'm going to figure out a way to repurpose it, so I'm willing to hold on to it for a little bit longer. However, it needs to be relocated, and I'm going to put that underneath the RV. This area here is always going to be messy because that's where my dirty clothes will be stored. But as a whole, I am excited. It's hard for me to clean. I don't like it, but I'm feeling really confident. Today will be the day. So I've grabbed a few bags to help me organize. I have my laundry bag, and that, of course, is going to be for the dirty clothes. I also have some hats lying around, and I have a bag full of hats. So let's put those hats where they belong. Then I grabbed another bag to keep the bed cover covered. And then we're going to put that underneath the RV, and I'm going to continue to clean. I'm almost there. Another popular question that I'm asked is about health insurance. Now, as of now, I am not insured. Now, my plan is to look into Marketplace when the time is upon us. The only concern that I have is that I'll be registering as a Nevada resident, and then I'll be needing services outside of Nevada. So that means that I'm always using providers that are outside my service, and I don't know if that's going to be an issue. But I'm also starting to research some options for nomads. I do know that there are some options for digital nomads who actually travel internationally. So that is something I will be looking into. And then there's also options for people who travel within the United States. If by chance you sell insurance, this may be a market you want to tap into, because a lot of people who are looking at this lifestyle, that's one of their biggest concerns. What am I going to do about health insurance? As of now, I can't answer that question. I'm still in the same boat trying to figure that out myself, but do know that there are websites out there specifically for nomads. In the comments, people have asked me, how do you find a place to park? Well, keep in mind, I don't travel all the time. And that's because I don't like driving. And I definitely don't like driving this big old thing. But I see this as a tiny home on wheels. A tiny home on wheels that allows me to set up shop, get comfortable in the location, and when it's time to move, it's going to be easy. I can easily just pack up, move along to another location. So far in my journey, when it comes to finding parking, Facebook has been the best resource for me. There's a group on Facebook for any and everything. In fact, there's a group on Facebook specifically for majestic owners. Some of these groups cater to individuals who are looking for private land. That's how I found the first place that I parked at. Some of the groups give you resources to find small RV parks. Maybe you only want to be in a park with 9 other people. Some groups help you find minority-owned businesses or Black-owned businesses. Some of the groups link female travelers with other females who are providing a place for them to park. There's a lot of resources out there. Facebook is a great option, especially since it's free. Now, there's also options where you can pay for a subscription, but my mentality is, I'm gonna let somebody else pay for the subscription, then they're gonna come into a Facebook group ripping and raving about wherever they went, and I'm gonna just find out about that place through them. That's how I do things, for the free. Now, as far as finding a place to stay when you're on the road, my number one suggestion would be truck stops and rest stops. I actually stayed at some of the truck stops on my way to Pennsylvania, and I absolutely loved it. You can, of course, go to an RV park, pay for the night. It's similar to setting up an Airbnb or a hotel reservation, but that costs money, and I like the free. So truck stops as well as rest stops are a great option. I would recommend maybe a truck stop because it's always busy, especially if you're a solo traveler. That's going to give you a little more comfort knowing that there's more activity in the area. As y'all know, I do have pets as well as a cat. Some people ask, what is traveling like with the cat? He hates it. He absolutely hates it. The videos where they have cats in their vans and their RVs and the cats are just chilling, that's not my cat. So as far as how to calm a cat down, how to get a cat prepared for traveling, I cannot answer that question because I'm looking for that my dang on self. Obviously, I'm proud of myself. As you can see, we got one sleeping area completely cleaned off. I'm going to show you how I can change it from dining room setup to sleeping setup. So I'm going to show you the transformation. But one area is all set and ready for a guest, and the second one is coming along. Now that this area is cleaned up, my brain has had some time to figure out what to do with some of the other items in the RV. I have some stuff up near the front, which is tools and things that I thought I would need, and I wanted to be able to get to it easily. However, I don't really use them every day, so they don't have to be in here. Once I have these orange containers moved, that's going to free up some space in the front, and I'm thinking about putting my TV there. Currently, my TV is in my bedroom, but since I'm going to be hanging out in the living room, I'm going to go ahead and relocate that. The option is going to be down here at the bottom, or I'm going to try to put it up at the top where the cab is. The only thing is that's pretty much Fatty's area. His food is up there, his litter box is up there, and I don't really trust him not to knock the TV down. So that's going to be the last option. My main concern is there's not a lot of electric outlets in the RV, so I'm kind of worried about where I'm going to plug up the TV. That's why I have the two locations, but hopefully down at the bottom is where it'll fit, and maybe I have an extension cord or something. So now we're just going to move some things back to the storage container. I recently had someone come to the channel and ask what it's like driving a vehicle that has a Ford chassis. Keep in mind, this is the only RV I've driven, so I have nothing to compare it to. I can tell you, when I did do traveling in the RV, there were times where driving 65 miles per hour just seemed smooth. It was great. And there were other times where 65 miles per hour felt like 90 miles per hour, and I felt completely out of control. Now, a lot of that was because I'm uncomfortable. A lot of that was just me. But the wind conditions, the conditions of the road definitely affect how the driving is. I don't know if that's a Ford thing or just an RV thing. Now, I have visited the Majestic RV Owners Facebook page and kind of looked at some of the postings about what it's like driving to get an idea. It is quite possible that this particular model is known to kind of swerve a little bit or drift a little bit when you're driving. That may be a Ford thing, but until I have something to compare to, I can't confirm. Now, overall, even though there's some times where I feel a little uncomfortable, I'm happy with the drive and I'm happy with the Ford portion of the vehicle, especially since my car is also a Ford, and I just feel like as a whole, Fords are somewhat easy to work on if you want to do some DIY projects. So I have no bad things to say about it just yet, but that's also because I'm still learning. I don't do a lot of driving, and then when I do drive, I don't know if it's an RV thing or a specific to my vehicle thing. Now that we have this area freed up, we can go ahead and get the TV. Now the TV is in my room. I am going to bring this whole setup into the living room area, and we're almost ready to host a party. A lot of people want to know, what are you going to do about work? Well, right now I'm not working. One of the best things about selling my house and having some extra change was that I can just sit and enjoy life for about a year, maybe a little longer if I stop purchasing things on Amazon. But when it is time to start worrying about income, some of the easier options are going to be food delivery. I wouldn't do rideshare because I don't want anybody in my car, but I'm currently looking into actually being a caregiver. That's one option that never occurred to me when I was doing my research, but it is something that I'm looking into now. Although there's an orientation and a training process, you don't really need too much experience to do that. Some of us can start off with being a caregiver to somebody that we care about, and then others it may be a complete stranger. But that is an option. Now, you may not get paid a lot, but if you enter this world with your expenses low, that may not be a problem. And some of the duties that are necessary for a caregiver is similar to just hanging out with somebody who just needs a little extra help. It may feel more like socializing than really working, and that's the type of job that I want. The vision is coming together. We're almost at the final stretch. Now, this area here can go from dining room to sleeping area. Same with the jackknife sofa. It can go from a sofa setup to an actual bed setup. So I'm going to show you the transformation on how this can change. And you get the idea that I'm going for. This now will be able to host me and my friend as well as her dogs and my dogs. And we'll be able to just relax and hang out in the RV. Living full-time in the RV for months, it's finally clean and organized. It's the cleanest that it has been since moving in. Is it perfect? No, but that's okay, because perfect is a goal. It's not a reality. I appreciate that you stayed and hung out with me while I clean. Most importantly, I appreciate all the questions that you've asked in the comments. I hope you enjoyed your time with me. As you can see, Fatty already enjoys the new layout. I'm looking forward to bringing the dogs in so they can check it out. And I'll see you next time.